Howdy ho folks, it's your multiversal medium here with something completely different. Today we're in the world of Guardians of Azuma to ask but one question. What's the stupidest way to play this game? To the uninitiated, Guardians of Azuma is a high Eastern fantasy spin-off of Rune Factory, one of the most solid farming game IPs on the market. In this wondrous game, we'll be tasked with facing yokai, reviving dead gods, and reuniting a divided land, all while helping rebuild the settlements torn asunder by a generation-long cataclysm. At least that's how most people would be playing this. But I'm on YouTube, and you wouldn't be watching this video if it was just me playing this normally. Trust me, I've got LPs on my channel. That format's basically dead. So instead of playing this smart, let's hop into the game, a smidge of character creation later, and cutscenes a go-go, baby. This game's starting cutscene is classic fantasy fanfare, mystical glowing Kuzma what's-its, a cool monster, in this case a dragon, and some nice camera work alluding to a grand calling of our protag, tied to said dragon. But one cut to black later, we see some conflict. Wait a tick, that's not right.
Why do you stand in my way?
Well, that doesn't seem right. I think we need to rename this challenge. Hold up. Today, we're in the world of Guardians of Azuma to ask but one question. Can you beat this game as a weeaboo?
Enough talk!
Aim for the horns!
As you may notice, our protag's voice is a bit odd. I'm actually playing this on a physical 1.0 cartridge on the Switch, and it seems that switching voices seems to have a bit of a bug tied to it. Well, from here on out, every cutscene our protag will now be speaking Japanese. Anyways, one nightmare later, and we've got a choice. To follow the truest meta of this playthrough, we gotta look the part, which means it's outfit changing time. I'm going with this wonderful spring ensemble, first popularized by a fake prince in a different country. But make sure to note the hidden details of the stitch work. What first appears to be a poncho is actually a cape with one of the stupidest sleeve designs this side of the Mississippi. Wearing this outfit will turn the head of any and every Rune Factory fan in utter disgust. Truly a work of art the likes of which even the British Museum would skip over. Now that we got a new set of threads, it's time to go outside and see the world. Here, we'll meet Iroha and see how this game handles introducing every love interest moving forward. The fun thing about Iroha is that how she looks in the game and how she looks in the official art is a bit different. In one spot that Japan seems weirdly obsessed with.
Can I ask you to take care of the sweeping again?
Aye.
Anyways, Iroha wants us to sweep up the area around the shrine. We could do that. Or, and hear me out, we could watch a cutscene I'm sure 9 out of 10 players miss by talking to her again.
So, have you remembered anything?
いえ、それが自分の名前以外相変わらず。
Maybe you should see a doctor about your amnesia. Not that our village even has one.
ああ、お気遣いなく。特に困ってませんから。
Maybe it should.
Wow, missable lore and characterization? I hate it. But with that, I should mention, I won't be showing every cutscene. As hilarious as it is to have Subaru the weeaboo speak that funny language of his, it'll take a bit too long. So I'm just gonna give some Cliff's Notes of scenes, and instead offer you guys a separate video on my channel with every cutscene this happens in. Oh, and ignore the giant hole in our roof. It's deeply plot relevant, but I don't trust it since it's filled with random debris that makes zero sense.
I can't help but think you must be someone really special.
Anyways, one set of chores and a Skyrim shuffle later.
Now twirl, honey, twirl, and twirl, honey, twirl. Skyrim Shuffle.
And we got a handful of new characters introduced, along with some basic settings. Number 1. Kid character is annoying because, of course she is. Number 2. Old man is giving me sumo vibes, and I really don't know why.
There's a good girl.
Number 3.
Nearly 50 years have passed since the celestial collapse.
The village is dying.
Our village once bustled with travelers from all over Azuma. Now, it's but a shadow of its former self.
Do you really plan to cut it down?
Number 4.
Indeed. Takumi's inspection revealed that the roots have already begun to rot.
The big titty tree is about to be cut down.
Legend says that a very beautiful, buxom deity once called this tree her home.
And yes, it is the big titty tree. The old man says that's canon, which is hilarious. Actually, hold on. I'd like to go more into this. This one effing line is so far deeper than people realize at first glance. Most people just think, haha, funny, what a silly line. But what we can infer from the line about a buxom goddess in the tree is the fact that the goddess being buxom is vital to the stories and myths about her. Such details, if not relevant, tend to fade from oral storytelling. So the literal stories, myths, and legends about this goddess are focused on the fact she has a rack. I want you to take that in for a moment. Anyways, back to it. And lastly, number 5, and this one's important, guys. There is now a free house in the village because this faceless NPC just left. And that's about it, honestly. There's a bit more. Like one of the quickest shifts in a person's mentality I've ever seen, with Iroha going from, oh no, the town is dying, to, I'll save the town!
Great Guardian, if you're listening, I hope you recover soon. And when you do, please bless us with your beautiful flowers again. Please. That does it. I'll be the one to revitalize our village.
What?
And, you know, kid characters being annoying again.
Can I ask a favor?
No.
Whatever. I'll just do it by myself.
Ah, Suzu-chan!
But let's be honest, I'm not expecting grand writing here. I'm expecting to have enough fun playing this game weirdly that it'll leave an impression with you guys. Now, ignoring all of that, we're going to explore the village in search of a handful of things. After all, my inner treasure goblin loves to break crates and grab loot. Anyways, one hop around the block later, and it's nap time. You know how the start of games go. Do the story bit and wait for the next story bit to pop up ad infinitum, or at least until given proper agency. That being said, we're about to find out that our dream girl is in fact a random chick on a branch. So that's nice, I guess.
O Earth Dancer, aid to the gods. Blessed Earthmate, hear my plea.
Honestly, I thought my tastes were a bit more alty, but this is still a heck of a lot better than the dreams I used to have as a horny teenager. Anyways, one weirdly dry dream later, and we're forced to experience what it feels like to wake up in my stuffy, obsessed fiancé's bed.
Finally! Morning!
Oh, and we got a drum now. This is a good thing. After all, I was never confident in my ability to sing or talk to girls, so being a drummer is a good fit for me personally. Anyways, this is Wolby. Don't worry about his actual name. Not a single character in this setting does, after all. I don't know why. Even if he is revered with countless shrines, all of which are kept in high regard, nobody cares about his name. Do not ask it, do not care about it, do not wonder about it. Also, don't worry about how this series of cutscenes is weirdly similar to the opening cutscene. After all, there's no way there'd be a cut to black and a sudden conflict right now, right? One cut to black and a sudden conflict later. A giant black dragon showed up during a thunderstorm and was evil, I guess. But this time it's even betterer. This cutscene has an airship and a furry.
Roger, hard port. Ready and fire!
And explosions.
Not even phased.
Also, there's a lot more stakes because the dragon is wrapped around the big titty tree. And yelling. Yeah, heck yeah, that's a if I ever saw one. Better call me operator because this story has me on the line. I just realized like half of my viewers probably won't get that joke and now I'm sad. Anyways, after yelling a bunch of gibberish in a different language at an airship flying by, which they obviously wouldn't hear, Big Bad Evil Dragon exits stage left, and the day is saved. Enter stage right, two controversial love interests. Why are they controversial, you ask? Play the other games, my guys. I'm giving you a Cliff's Notes version of a video game, not leaning over your shoulder while whispering the answers to life, the universe, and everything, all while you stare vacantly into your fridge at 2 a.m. Oh, but woe becomes us.
Yeah, Suzu and I are fine, but the sacred tree?
As the recent relations between the big black and nature's big titty bounty has left her torn asunder.
Worse still, our sacred tree was caught in the crossfire. The damage is too great. Our village will never recover.
Sadly, being a QoS is eternal, and Old Man Sumo says we gotta put her down.
You're cutting it down?
This shocks Iroha for some reason.
But if we lose the tree, then...
Like, seriously, I have zero clue why she's this upset. We legit just saw yesterday that the tree was being cut down and she accepted it. But today, after the tree being choked by big black... Anyways, it's weird that she's suddenly this upset about the tree being cut down.
We have no choice, child. Best to remove it before it harms someone.
Woe has now become everyone present at this sad revelation of knowledge we already know and have discussed. But worry not, we have a weird animal mascot and a drum. We are perfectly set up to be so annoying and loud that nobody in a 5-city block radius can ever sleep again.
Huh?
If that statement didn't make a lot of sense, it's because I was going to make a joke about how we're so loud that we're even waking up the dead trees, but I lost the will to do so shortly after writing the start of it. In fact, my will to do anything has left me in such a regard that I've elected to sit in a poison bloom and try to meet my maker on my own terms. Sadly, like every aspect of my life, I've proven time and time again that my free will is but an illusion. Thanks, game.
Why won't you let me down?
Anyways, drum, drum, bang, bang, make tree go brrr. This makes everyone so happy that I then dance in what I can only assume is a discount version of Okami's reviving of the Konohana tree questline. And I've gotta say, the lack of old men doing a boogie woogie makes this entire series of events unfortunately mediocre in my mind. Now with the power of love, friendship, belief, and this drum I found, the tree is revived in all its big titty glory. That being said, the carving of a QOS, that big black dragon left behind, seems to be there for good. But people like what they like, and I don't mind if they ain't hurting no one. It just means she's never going to be into a weeb like our protag, especially as a love interest. Oh, we unlocked Village Builder mode, by the way. Now, this is when the game truly opens up. The world is officially our oyster, and we can finally follow the truest meta of Rune Factory. Farming. Oh, heck yeah, so good. Now, how do I make more fields? How do I make more fields? Okay, so the world may be our oyster now, but this game makes sure you're allergic to shellfish first. Remember when I described this game at the start of the video? Guardians of Azuma is a high Eastern fantasy spin-off of Rune Factory, one of the most solid farming game IPs on the market. In this wondrous game, we'll be tasked with facing yokai, reviving dead gods, and reuniting a divided land, all while helping rebuild the settlements torn asunder by a generation-long cataclysm. The astute-minded viewer may have noticed that I never called Guardians of Azuma a farming game. At its core, this game is an action RPG first, a dating sim second, and a town builder third. Farming is only a small portion of the town building aspect of this game, and not even close to the most vital aspect. It serves as more of a means to an end for various other mechanics in the game. What this equates to is making fields to plant crops in game can be either easy or annoying, depending on how you play the game. And, well, I'm already on record about how I'm playing this, so we're in for a bit of a rough patch if we ever want to grow crops for whatever reason. But, considering farming isn't outright vital to the game, we should be fine. Right? Right? I don't know why, but I feel an ever-creeping dread crawling up my back this morning. It's probably just the fact that I slept with a giant hole in my roof last night. Oh wait, I do that every night, and have done so apparently for half a year.
Hard to believe you've been with us for half a year now.
I would like to take this moment and say that the line about me being in the village for half a year is in fact a mistranslation, and I am fully aware of such. I've only been here for half a month actually. I just found it so much more funny if it's half a year, and as this video's de facto comedy man, what I find funny goes. Remember, kiddos, YouTube channels aren't a democracy. They're dictatorships. And this video creator Dick isn't gonna cater to Logic's personal ships. Anyways, let's pop back into the video.
Such a kind soul.
Now, the giant hole in my living space has suddenly become today's problem, and we're gonna have to go on an entire quest to fix it. After all, the only carpenter in town is currently missing, and has been for days.
Our carpenter Takumi left a few days ago and hasn't come back. Sakaki wants to go look for him.
I thought I'd ask him to repair the dragon shrine since you're staying there. But, well, the curse of old age.
Ignoring the fact that you could only survive half a week without water, the quickest way of solving this conundrum is a lot simpler than most players realize. After all, there's an open house that was recently vacated just 2 days back. The fact that my character wasn't moved into an abode is such an odd deus ex machina to drive the plot that I can't even begin to unravel the logic behind it. After all, why would you have a random visitor / patient in your village just live in the local shrine to the dragon god indefinitely when you have beds closer to the rest of the village and without a giant hole in the ceiling? But it seems my choice to sink any and all bits of logic but a moment ago came back to bite me immediately. Who'da thunk? I'd find this all very upsetting if I wasn't distracted by these mad beats I'm playing on this drum of mine. I freaking love being annoying. Oh, anyways, we've got to go find out why the carpenter decided to carp exit the village for whatever reason and why they're not back yet.
Great! I'm glad you're so reliable.
How reassuring to have you on the search.
That being said, I've got a bunch of seeds from owning the collector's edition of this game, and I may as well grow them, I guess. I mean, with the help of this awesome drum solo, I can grow turnips overnight, which is pretty sick. Like, check this out. Oh, there's that feeling again. But would you look at that? We went to bed and the date didn't even change. Not only that, we got EXP from harvesting turnips. It's not like regular EXP where it will level us up though. Instead, it will let us unlock nodes in the skill tree menu. Look at this. We got a tree for our sword, our drum, and even harvesting and cooking.
Yeah.
I forgot
You
to
were
mention
about
the
to start
Cook King
searching for
cutscene
Takumi
because
without a
I
single
didn't care.
goodie for-
How nice. I wonder how long it'll take to cap all these out before even leaving the village. But to do that, we'd have to go all in on farming, right? Which means I'd have to get a bunch of stupid materials just to make farm plots. That ought to be fine, right? But to do that, we'd have to... Today, we're in the world of Guardians of Azuma to ask but one question. Can you play this game as a farmer? As I mentioned earlier, Guardians of Azuma isn't a farming game. Although some aspects of its Rune Factory roots remain, they're just not the most important in the grander scheme of gameplay. Like turnips being the default crop because a weird girl just found them neat. There's also crop levels and large crops.
Wow.
Oddly enough, crops cap out at level 9 as opposed to level 10 like in the rest of the series. Beyond that, farming is... alright. Honestly, the village builder menu makes the majority of the process super simple. From sowing seeds, watering, and lastly, harvesting. The entire process is quick and easy.
Yes!
Like,
Alright!
too quick and easy.
Which do
The feeling of growing something and enjoying the payoff that comes from a farming game is practically non-existent here. And as nice as the ability to sow, water, and harvest is in this menu, there are issues. The menu will never be centered, and even using a D-pad does little to stop your cursor from veering off in a random direction. This is paired with the need to make fields via a crafting recipe that we're going to have some difficulty with right now, since we can't leave the village yet. The second we leave the village, time resumes and we're officially on the clock. Or so I say without actually reviewing my footage of me doing so. Listen guys, I'm writing this script at midnight on a night I need to wake up at 7 AM. Cut me some slack. Besides, we're on the internet. Do you genuinely expect me to offer actual helpful information in any format beyond Reddit tech questions and Wikipedia articles? Anyways, we're locked into the village until we cap out our skill trees, because I decided this is my newest obsession. In order to make this go faster, we should get the max amount of fields we can for every bit of seeds we have. Beyond the welcome gift seeds we gained from buying the collector's edition, we also gained 2 turnip seeds from smashing crates at the start of the game, something we can no longer do since they stopped respawning when time stopped. That leaves us with...
I didn't look up how many.
Plots to make, plant, and harvest.
You want to make?
It sounds simple, but when you realize every plot takes 2 rich soil and 2 red soil, but every rich soil takes 1 rock and 1 withered grass, and every red soil takes 1 rock and 1 weed. We're looking at 4 rocks, 2 withered grass, and 2 weeds per plot, which would be simple to get if our source of all these items was something more than just sweeping the 2 shrines in town every day. Listen, it will be a slow grind, but it will totally be worth it. After all, the overall change in how skills work now in Guardians of Azuma means farming is honestly one of the best ways to grind out skills. Or, well, it is early on at the very least. As for anything mid to late game, I don't care about that right now because I refuse to do research.
Ignorance is bliss.
Now, if we want to do this smart, we're going to have to handle our ever-growing collection of EXP in a particular manner. You see, beyond the gain of quote-unquote practical EXP, which can be used in any skill tree, by banging on our drum, we can in fact earn EXP specific to the drum skill. So if I'm crunching these numbers right, and my lack of high school diploma may disagree with this, then the wisest way is to beeline for every RP node in every skill tree in order to bang on my drum more often, thus getting more EXP. I take this moment to explain RP and why I want that, but if you didn't notice what it was as I just said that via the arrows at the bar as I banged my drum, I'm just assuming you're a Dark Souls player and beyond saving at this point.
And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
With all the info now cowering beneath the proverbial belt in our hand, let's take a swing at it.
Up and at 'em, partner.
Or so I'd say, if this wasn't insufferably boring. So I'm just going to give a Cliff's Notes version of my personal suffering, much like the diary I'm certain most people keep in hell. After all, what worse torture could one receive besides demons reading your diary in front of the other bleeding bushes? That's a weirdly deep cut, and weirdly the closest thing I can discuss about a subject matter on YouTube without the website flagging my video. Remember everyone, you are loved. And while you are loved, I am pain eternal in the form of farming in Guardians of Azuma. So every morning is a repeat of the same, because it's the same morning as yesterday, and tomorrow, forever. We rush out of our oddly ominous face-looking shrine, and look for anything to sweep up. Upon finding nothing, we feel existential dread that forces a crack into our psyche, ever expanding. Then we rush to the next shrine under the big titty tree. We subscribe to her OnlyFans so we get free access to being near her feet.
Excuse me?
Something I'm honestly indifferent about beyond the meta of grabbing resources for this game. But it seems to be something every other NPC seems to thrive on. Huh. Weird. Anyways, upon finding some sweeping spots here, we'll be horrified to find yet another batch of withered grass as opposed to weeds. And realize that the greatest enemy to progress still is, and always will be, RNG. This constant realization, much like the weight of a toddler on your back while using your neck to hold on, is a level of choking that not even the kinkiest sub would enjoy. We then make our way to our slowly expanding farm, growing generation after generation of inbred produce in a weird personal bid to make the newest form of horrifyingly sterile GMOs. That being said, the constant toil day in and day never out has its moments of joy. The leveling of seeds, the purchase of an expensive skill tree node, the secret underfarm that the devs don't want you to know about. Oh, yeah. The secret underfarm the devs don't want you to know about. So, funny thing. It turns out when you plant saplings, you can freely move them via the village editor. But besides being able to make your own personal paradise one tree at a time, moving the saplings around can cause a rather unique glitch that I have zero clue if it exists in later updates of the game. Why? Because I'm not updating. You see, rearranging the saplings causes a great bit of dirt to be moved, including dirt in spots they aren't in. Something about this occasionally makes the game have an aneurysm, as one's prone to, and it produces two dirt clouds on one square, like so. This is to let the players know glitches have just occurred, and you can now peek under the game's figurative skirt. As you can see via the village editor grid, those squares are now off limits, aka they no longer exist, and I mean just that. Those squares, much like my self-hatred, no longer exist, but much like my mental health, things once gone have a habit of returning with the slightest shift of set-in-stone variables or going outside. For those of you that lack basic comprehension, this glitch fixes itself if you move the tree or lead the village it takes place in. Don't worry if you do it. Anyways, what this allows us to do is drop down beneath a building zone and view things from below, which is great for me. After all, I've been trying to get into method acting. I've got a role in an upcoming rendition of the Metamorphosis as Gregor Samsa. Classic literature references aside, the rest of my never-ending day is about the same as I already said. Farm resources, farm crops, all in a bid to farm EXP, while buying skill nodes that give rune points in order to farm drum EXP faster. And after a brief period of
5.5 hours,
we can finally say we've done something we had no reason to. With a bunch of capped out skill trees and a farm filled with leveled crops, I think we're finally ready. We can finally start this game to answer the question we asked at the start. Or that's what I'd say if the episode wasn't over. Feel free to drop by next time for more nonsense in Azuma. And if you like this video style, let me know. I have absolutely nothing else on my channel like this, but I'm not beyond doing more. Or that's what I'd say if my graphics card wasn't bust and I could record more videos. Yeah, funny thing. So until I can completely rebuild my PC, since this is already recorded, I plan on releasing a few more videos of Azuma like this, along with a video series going over every cutscene where we see Subaru the weeaboo speaking that funny language of his. Lastly, I'm going to be putting up a supercut of when I was recording this series. Just the funny bits and bobs, like this. How do you think she's keeping her balance while being in high heels on top of a dragon? Is she not in heels? What? Are you telling me Japan made a character, like a woman character, that's not in heels? What the since when? Oh my effing gosh. And they're not even the stupid sandals that like are raised? I don't know how to feel about this. I feel like Japan's going against itself. So if you like the sound of that, both of those videos will be linked at the end of this one. Anyways, it was fun, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. And ciao! Howdy, folks. If you liked what you saw, maybe consider another series of mine, like this one. Or maybe just check out my channel. And if you enjoyed that video, I'd really appreciate if you took the time to like and comment down below. It helps me get more videos into your hands. Thanks in advance.